All right, hello and welcome. Today we're going to tap into some ancient chimp wisdom to solve what I'm calling the Great Orange Mystery. You ready? Let's get into it.
So I want you to picture this, right? We're in a place called Chimptopia. It's this bustling, incredible jungle. And for every chimp there, life, it just beats to the rhythm of one thing: the flow of oranges. It's everything to them.
But then, today is different. Right in the middle of all this fun, something goes wrong. Barnaby the chimp, this guy's a legend. He just drops all his oranges, just splat. And then he clutches his chest. What on earth is going on?
And that right there is where our story begins. Welcome to the Great Orange Mystery.
Okay, so to get to the bottom of this, we've got to understand how this world works. Let's break down the anatomy of what we'll call an orange clog and see what's really happening under the hood.
Okay, first things first, what are these oranges really? Well, in our little story here, the oranges, they're the blood. They're the super energy-rich fuel that keeps every single chimp swinging from branch to branch.
So how does this fuel get where it needs to go? Through the jungle vines, of course. Think of them like a massive, sprawling network of tiny highways. These are the arteries, right? And they carry those precious oranges from the main hub out to every single part of a chimp's body.
And at the center of this whole operation, you've got the jungle drum. This is the mighty heart. It's the engine, the pump, that pushes all those oranges through the vines. Ba-boom, ba-boom. It sets the rhythm for their entire life.
But what happens when that steady rhythm just stops? Well, that's when you get chaos. Let's take a look at what happens when the vines go boom.
All right, so how does a perfectly good system get so messed up? It's a step-by-step process. First, everything's great, right? The oranges are flowing smoothly. But then, the chimps get a taste for these super sticky, sweet orange syrup snacks. And that syrup starts to coat the inside of the vine walls, making them narrower and narrower until bam, you've got a full-blown orange traffic jam. Total gridlock. The flow just stops.
And you can really see the difference here, side by side. A healthy vine, it's wide open. Oranges are just zipping along. The jungle drum is happy, just beating along. But a clogged vine, it's all sticky and narrow. The flow is slow, sluggish, and that puts a ton of stress on the drum. It's working way, way too hard.
So what are the culprits here? Well, it's not just one thing. Obviously, too much of that sticky orange syrup is a big one. But also, not enough vine-swinging, exercise. Sometimes it's just in their nature. Some oranges are just thicker and more pulpy. And yeah, even just trying to gulp down 10 oranges at once, that puts a crazy amount of pressure on the whole system.
So things are looking pretty grim for Barnaby. The chimps have no idea what to do. But lucky for them, they've got a genius in their midst. Let's see how Professor Bobo's big idea starts to turn things around.
Enter Professor Bobo, the one and only chief orangeologist. And he's got this brand new invention, the Vine Scanner 3000. He points it at poor Barnaby, and the thing just goes haywire. He actually wrote in his notes that the screen didn't just flash an error message, it literally exploded in a shower of pulp. That's when you know you've got a problem.
And this is the reading he got right before the machine gave up the ghost. 95%. A 95% clog. That is, wow. That means basically nothing was getting through Barnaby's main vine. This wasn't just a small issue, this was a full-blown crisis.
But here's the cool part. The chimps didn't just freak out. No, they're smart. They got to work. The wisest chimps got everyone together and said, okay, we need a plan. So they started clearing out the vines by cutting way back on the sticky snacks. They brought in more leafy greens, started jogging around the jungle trees every morning, and even practiced just, eating their oranges slowly, calmly. And this wasn't just some fad diet, This became part of their culture. This is what we call the juicy wisdom. It's a lesson for the ages.
And you know what's crazy? This isn't a new problem. Not at all. If you go back to the cave chimp era, you can find wall paintings warning about too much pulp. Fast forward to ancient chimp times, and you've got elders telling the youngins not to mix syrup with every single snack. And now, here in modern Chimptopia, they've got Professor Bobo and his scanner. The tools change, but the problem is timeless.
Now, you've probably noticed that some chimps just seem to breeze through life, right? They're always bouncing around with these super clean vines. And it's not magic or luck. It really comes down to lifestyle. They're the ones who just naturally move more and eat smarter.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this chimp wisdom, what is it? It's actually pretty simple. The crucial point is this. Keep your vines clean, keep your oranges balanced, and make sure your jungle drum, your heart, keeps on smiling.
And of course, we have to end with a little word from our friends in Chimptopia. They want to make sure you know that this has all been for laughs and for learning. If you need any actual advice on your own vines, maybe talk to someone with fewer bananas and a lot more medical degrees. All right, that's all for now. Thanks for tuning in.